Mrs. Crime, Mr. Wade, bringing you the stories. Stay tuned for a lot more.
After a 14-month reign of terror, he was finally caught. It was only then that his true identity was discovered. His name, Richard Ramirez. Richard.
Mr. Wade here and Mrs. Crime. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. And if you have, go ahead and click that like button. Now let's get to our story. Now, today's unfortunate story is about a guy that was born in the year 1960. Now, his father, and by the way, he had 4 brothers. Now, his father was in the Spanish War community. Once he got out of the Spanish War, he ended up becoming a regular civilian, getting a regular job. Now, he was very abusive to his children. 5 kids. Now, understanding that at the age of 2, this particular gentleman went under 2 head injuries. What are the head injuries? Well, one injury was brought by a dresser falling onto his head, causing approximately 30 stitches. Now, the other biggest injury was when he was 5 years old. He ended up getting hit in the head or struck in the head by a swing. Wow. So who we're talking about right now, his name is Richard Ramirez. Now, for those of you that don't know who this is, he is known to be what you may call the Night Stalker. Now, I'm breaking it down to how he got to the Night Stalker. So as he progressed in age, from the age of 5, he got into his teenage years. Now, he had a cousin that was also in the military and that would sit with him and show him pictures of dead people that he been killed in war and heads chopped off, all kind of stuff that a teenager should not see. Now, mental issues are coming in because Mr. Richard Ramirez was struck in the head twice from the age of 2 to 5. Once by a dresser in the head, the other one by a swing set in the head. So he had a lot of mental things going on, even as the father himself was mentally abusing him and his brothers. So he took a liking to all this stuff, and he would actually walk away from home as a teenager, and he would take naps in the nearby cemetery. Yeah, taking naps in the cemetery, believe that. So he would take naps in the cemetery. Anyways, he became a liking to all this morbid type of stuff, right? So he also took an interest in demonic stuff. He started becoming a satanic worshiper. He started getting into that type of stuff. As he got older, he got more into putting in the palm of his hand the hexagon sign, the satanic sign, a lot of things that he was evolving into, which made him the Night Stalker.
In a wicked world, wicked people are born. I'm not going to blame society, my race, people, or anything. It is up to the individual like itself to keep on knocking on whatever door they want to get into.
As he became this vigilante guy, he got older, and he also began to become very involved, holistic mental capacity, very volatile to a lot of people. Now, Richard Ramirez began taking LSD as he became a little older. So in his early 20s, he decided to move to what we call California. Now, he's in California and he's on LSD. He took a big liking to the satanic worshiping of the devil. And then the ramshackles of the homes began in the LA County. Now, his method was either a knife, a gun. He would break into the home of either elderly people, young people, rape, kill, steal money, and he kept this going on for quite some time. Now, he became known as a Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. Now, this guy was known on TV, and they were looking for this man for a long time. He did some things that people could not quite catch him, but he was always looking for an entry point to a home, whether it be a window open, whether it be a door slightly open. But his main go-to were the elderly because they couldn't fight back. And he always was very stealthy. Now, he learned all this type of skill from his cousin that was once in the military. Now, back in the day when he got hit in the head, he was actually knocked unconscious both times with a dresser and the swing set in a park. There were also times, besides daylight, of taking naps. He would escape from his father and he would go to the cemetery at night and sleep. Not just the daytime, nighttime as well. Damn.
His passion for burglary earned him the nicknames of Ricky the Thief and Fingers. But Eddie knew Ramirez had other serious problems when he was fired from a local hotel.
Now, Richard Ramirez will continue to do as he does of going in people's homes. And then if I read about how he would sometimes rape people multiple times. Now, on a lot of his crime murder scenes, he would actually spray paint a pentagon in the area of some of his victims' homes or victims' areas that he murdered, did everything else to. Now, this guy was on the bus. Now, he was trying to go back to El Paso, Texas to meet his cousin. So while he was on the bus, he was spotted by people that recognized him from the TV channels, the news broadcastings. They recognized him. So, of course, he got off the bus and went back to LA. Now, he was in LA and he continued to do as he's been doing. Killing people, breaking in their homes, doing all kind of stuff. Now, what basically happened is he was apprehended by a bunch of neighbors, people in the neighborhood that saw him one night, and they got him and they held him down on the ground until the police came to arrest him. So in 1988, while in court, he raised his right hand to show the pentagon in the palm of his hand and said, "All hail Satan." Now, when he was in one of the holding cells before his court date, one of the cell block cellies that's next door to him overheard him saying that he needed a weapon so that he could shoot the judge. Wow. Basically, that never happened. But one of the jurors of the jury ended up becoming murdered the morning of the court case. So they assumed that was him because what was relayed to them about a gun. Eventually, it found out that it was not done by Richard Ramirez because it was done by the actual Juror's husband. They had an argument and he murdered his own wife. That's what happened that day. Now, during all this stuff that was going on in the court system over Richard Ramirez, a freelancer female took a liking to him, pen pal with him, and ended up marrying him as his wife. Eventually, time goes on because he has a death sentence. She ended up divorcing him, or he divorced her, but it did not work out. So he became a big pen pal to a lot of different people. Big fans were writing this man, Richard Ramirez, while he was in San Quentin State Prison. Now, he ended up falling in love with somebody else, and he ended up marrying that person. Now, he ended up getting divorced from her, and he ended up dying, of course, under natural causes. Now, he was sentenced to death of an electric chair or gas chamber as it changed up through California systems. But he never died that way. He died of natural causes. Richard Ramirez, known as the Night Stalker, El Paso, Texas, came to Los Angeles, California, and straight did the disasters that he did. Wow. Now, Richard Ramirez died at a hospital while in custody of San Quentin State Prison in California. Now, he doesn't have a grave, but I will post up his Find a Grave photo, and he was cremated. So, this took place in California. And I hope you guys enjoyed this unfortunate story to all the victims behind the man of Richard Ramirez. A lot more videos, a lot more stuff coming from Tombstone Whispers. I'm Mr. Wade and Mrs. Crime. Stay tuned for a lot more.